All right, let's talk about a huge topic, deep learning. You hear that phrase thrown around constantly, right? But what is it really? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and break down this incredible tech in a way that's, actually easy to understand.
Think about this for a second. Something you probably do a dozen times a day. How in the world does your phone know it's you? You just look at it and boom, it unlocks. It feels like magic, right? Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. And the technology behind it is exactly what we're diving into.
And it's not just your phone. That same kind of magic is what lets a car drive itself through city traffic, or how an AI can whip up an incredible piece of art just from a few words you type. All these things that seem totally futuristic, they all have one thing in common, a single thread connecting them. And yeah, you guessed it, it's all powered by deep learning.
Okay, so to really get what deep learning is, it helps to zoom out and see where it fits in the grand scheme of things. I like to think of it as a kind of family tree for AI. Let's break it down real quick.
So at the very top of this family tree, you've got the giant umbrella term, artificial intelligence, AI. This is the whole big idea of making machines that can think or act in a way that seems, well, intelligent.
Okay, so nestled inside that big AI bubble is machine learning. And this is where things get really cool. See, instead of a programmer writing millions of lines of code for every single possibility, machine learning is about giving a computer a bunch of data and letting it figure out the patterns on its own. It learns from experience. And that leads us right here to our main topic, deep learning. Think of it as a super-powered, next-level version of machine learning. It's the most advanced, the most powerful technique we have right now for teaching machines.
So, what makes it so special? What's the secret sauce here? Well, the core idea, the inspiration for all of this, comes from the most amazing computer ever created, our own brain.
The engine that makes deep learning run is called an artificial neural network. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a system built to mimic the way the neurons in your brain are all connected. Its whole job is to look at data and find patterns just like our brains do.
Now you're probably wondering why the word deep. It sounds so profound, right? But honestly, the answer is super straightforward. It's called deep because these neural networks have lots of layers stacked on top of each other. That's literally it. The depth just refers to how many layers the network has.
Let's walk through how it works. Okay, so on one side you have the input, say a picture of your face. It goes into the first layer. Now, that first layer doesn't see a face. It just sees simple stuff like edges and lines. Then that information gets passed to the next layer, which might combine those edges into more complex shapes, like an eye or a nose. And the layer after that combines those shapes until finally the output layer makes a decision. Yep, that's you. It's this incredible process of building, understanding, layer by layer.
All right, so that's the basic idea. But let's get out of the theory and talk about the real world. Where are you actually seeing this stuff in action? You'd be surprised how much of it is already part of your life. And we're right back where we started. Face recognition, that instant unlock on your phone, that's a deep learning model that's learned from like millions of faces, just so it can pick yours out of a crowd.
Then you have something as wild as self-driving cars. They're using deep learning constantly, in real time, to see everything around them. It's identifying other cars, pedestrians, street signs. It's processing an insane amount of visual data every millisecond to make safe decisions.
And, anytime you say, "Hey Siri," or "Okay Google," how does it understand you? Deep learning. It's what takes the sound waves of your voice and translates them into something a computer can actually act on. It's pretty amazing.
But it's not all just about convenience. This tech is having a huge impact in really important fields, like medicine. We're talking about deep learning models that can look at an X-ray or an MRI and spot diseases, sometimes even more accurately than a trained doctor. It's a total game changer, and it's literally helping to save lives.
Okay, wow, we've gone through a lot. So let's just pause and recap. What are the most important things to remember from all of this? Let's break it down.
So why is deep learning such a big deal? 3 main reasons. First, it loves data. The more data you feed it, the smarter it gets. Second, it's incredibly accurate. We're talking superhuman levels of recognition for certain tasks. And third, and this is the big one, it figures things out for itself. You don't have to tell it what to look for, it learns the important features all on its own.
And that last point is really the key difference. With old-school machine learning, a programmer had to painstakingly tell the computer what features to look for. Like to find a car, they'd say, look for 4 wheels, windows, a specific shape. They had to do all the work up front. But with deep learning, you just show it a million pictures of cars. That's it. The network teaches itself what a car looks like. That ability to learn directly from raw information is what makes it so powerful.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, right? We've managed to build systems inspired by our own biology, systems that can learn on their own. As they get better and better, as they learn more and more, you have to stop and ask, is there a limit? What can't it learn?